On today's episode, we're sitting down with Greg Quezada, founder of Allison Project. Allison's project will blow your mind.
Those kids, they might go through something at school, they might have an issue at home. To know that they're going to get a meal and they're going to see Mr. Greg, that's what they call me. That to me is a very important part of what I do because it gives them hope.
Greg's going to talk to us about what it takes to be of service and give us tips on how we can too. Tune in. Greg, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Super excited to have you on the show. I was thinking back, I got to go visit one of the properties and kind of see you in action and what you do, and also got to meet you on a Zoom call. Yep. But let's kind of jump into what you do and how amazing you are.
Well, I try not to think of myself as amazing. I'm more humble than that, but thank you. I appreciate that. So basically what I do is I provide a hot meal to kids at an after-school program 4 days a week. And so this came up, we started this back in 2019, and we've been serving students or after-school program kids for the past 5-6 years, and yeah, that's what I do.
Is it true a lot of these families that you know these children you go and you feed, some of these families are just working so much and just scraping by that some of these kids, you know, they're not getting dinner, or not that they're malnourished, but I'm saying they're, you know, they might miss a meal because making ends meet, stuff like that. So you're providing a much needed service.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other things, or I guess you could say the lens that I use to view this is, and you bring up a good point. They're coming from a home where parents, it could be a single parent, it could be both parents there in the household, but they're working full-time jobs, they're working multiple part-time jobs, maybe even 2 full-time jobs. The point I'm getting at is these kids, that I'm not saying every single one of them, but there is someone there in that program where mom and dad they're not there. And the older sibling has to take care of them, and so this is another part of why I do what I do is the hope, and that's one thing I love about Hope Through Housing. It ties in well with what Hope does, being there consistent, right? Monday through Thursday. I know you said Friday, but Monday through Thursday. So on Monday through Thursday, just being there and being consistent, delivering that food, making that interaction, connecting with those kids, just that alone right there provides hope, because they might go through something at school, they might have an issue at home. To know that they're going to get a meal and they're going to see Mr. Greg, that's what they call me. They're going to see Mr. Greg come in with a big smile on his face and providing a meal that they enjoy. That to me is a very important part of what I do, because it gives them hope, and that's what I truly enjoy.
And Greg, what's your why behind this? I mean, why? But besides, I mean, what's going on? When you grew up? Did you grow up poor? Did you grow up missing meals? What is it more than, you know, you want to be there for these kids, but what's your deep down, what brought you to doing this? What even what sparked it?
Well, I wouldn't say I grew up poor. My dad definitely worked long hours. He wasn't really at the house much until the late evenings. So mainly it was a mom household raising 3 boys. And so, but there wasn't this issue of poverty, if you will. We didn't go without. My dad did a great job providing for us. I'm not sure where this comes from, other than the spiritual side. And there's a long story to that, but the short story is my aunt. She was an educator. She was principal of schools and a teacher at Cal Poly Pomona. I don't know, she just had this way about her around kids. That's just someone I looked up to. And so maybe that's kind of where I draw this from, is, the whole serving kids. It's possible that's where it comes from. But I just know from a very young age, I've always enjoyed the younger generation, if you will. Just being around kids, it just, there's something special about that. I do youth sports with my kids. I help coach, and just to connect with those kids it's an amazing opportunity, and it's a blessing because I get to pour into them. I get to be an example for them, and so I'm not sure where it comes from. I just know that spiritually that is a calling.
Yeah,
I've been called to do this, and I've answered the call for that.
And do you live in in one of the core housing?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I live in a next door community or city. It's Fontana. The after school programs in Rancho Cucamonga, or specifically Alta Loma. But it's a neighboring city, and I got connected to the program manager at the I don't know, the housing community, if you want to call it that, Sunset Heights. Shout out to Miss Joseph. She, what an amazing lady. If there's any way, if whoever's listening to this and Miss Joseph, go give her a high five and tell her thank you, because what that lady does on a daily basis is amazing. And it's an honor to come alongside her and help her in her program.
Yeah, it's great. Now, specifically, how did you find this, Miss Joseph? How did you get connected with this? Was it?
Yeah, so when the idea came up about serving kids, and we can go into that if you want.
Sure.
So for many years, I mean 4 or 5 years, every Thanksgiving to Christmas time, there was this radio broadcast that I would just happen to tune into. I'd also see the billboards on the side of the road, but it was the radio station was AM 640 KFI, and the I don't know what show it was, but they would do an annual pastathon, is what they called it, fundraiser, and then they would have people donate pasta. And I always thought it was kind of a cool thing to find out more about what they did. I searched them up on the internet. And so basically with this there's this guy, not just a guy, this amazing individual in Anaheim, California. His name's Sir Bruno. He's a chef and owner of the White House restaurant there in Anaheim. And he serves 5,000 kids a day. And so he does this annual pastathon because, they got to support the program that they do. And so when I learned more about what he did, I thought, I could do this. I could do this in my own backyard. I forget who said it, but they said, you don't have to go to the ends of the earth to find people who are starving or who are hungry or who are in need. All you got to do is look in your backyard. And that just stuck with me. And it may have been Mother Teresa. I don't know. You might want to look that up. But that just hit me as a calling. And so when I heard about what Sir Bruno was doing and what the White House, and his program is called, sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
Katerina's, okay, so let me back up here. So Sir Bruno, out of the White House restaurant, he cooks all of his meals for the kids there. The program is called Katerina's Club. And so what he did was, one day he was cooking meals there in the restaurant. His mom was helping him at the time when she was around, and she noticed that they're embedded in a neighborhood. They're in a low-income neighborhood. And she noticed the kids walking by, and they'd always, say hello, or they'd ask for food. And she's just like, Bruno, why are you not feeding these kids? And so what he did was, based on his mom's, push, he started feeding kids that were walking by that were hungry. And then it just grew into that. He teamed up with the Boys and Girls Club started serving food in the local club there, and it just grew from there. And I thought, what an amazing thing he does for these kids who could, like I said before, they might be in need, they may not be. They might be hungry because they missed a meal. Okay. But he's serving pasta.
Yeah.
And there's a whole science behind the whole pasta thing, why he chose pasta. But just that I knew I could do that in my own backyard. And I knew I could deliver this food. I just needed to know who and where, that sort of thing. So I was working for a church in Rancho Cucamonga, and they purchased a former event facility. And so I was helping them with their events there, managing their events. And the Rancho Cucamonga Rotary came to me, and they said, hey, we've been doing this ever since this place was built. We've teamed up with the owners. We do this event every year. Would you help us? And it was called Happy Feet. And so I said, sure, why not? So basically it was just breakfast items, coffee, donuts, danishes, orange juice, that sort of thing. So we went to this event, and it's to give kids shoes right before they go to school. And I met Miss Joseph there. This is the long story of how I got to meet with Miss Joseph. So I got connected with her, found out more about, at the time it was Villaggio Apartments, and so got to talking with her, and it just came up. What do you do? She's always asking, what do you do? And give me more information. And so that's basically how we got connected. She told me that she runs an after-school program. And so a couple of years went by. We were doing this Happy Feet event every year. And so as I learned more about Sir Bruno, Caterina's Club, what he does, and having that just fire under me, move forward and starting this thing, I thought she would be the perfect person to talk to about doing this. And so I approached her. I asked her if that was something that could be done. She put me in contact with Boys and Girls Club, and we talked, got it all squared away, and we started serving the kids at Villaggio. So since then, it's switched over to Hope Through Housing in terms of the after-school program. And so I followed Miss Joseph from Villaggio over to Sunset Heights. So that's how we got connected. That's how this whole thing started. And yeah.
Wow. That's awesome, man. So I would say, so you've been doing this now for 6 years, going on 6 years. Yep. Tell me what does it do for you? How does it fuel you? I mean,
Yeah, that's a great question. So this applies to everything, right, in life. You're going to have days where you just don't want to do it. There's a lot of work that's put into this, a lot of time and effort. Cooking is an art in a way, right? Regardless how easy it is with pasta, but it's a lot. So the point I'm getting at is anything worth doing, right? You want to do well. And when I'm just having one of those days where I'm just like, gosh, I don't have it in me today. That's when I know something's going to happen. Something's going to happen either while I'm cooking or when I deliver the food, or if I connect with one of the kids at the program. Maybe it's Miss Joseph. I hear something's going to happen that day. And that just kind of fuels me. Outside of those kind of days, most days I'm just energized. I mean, it is something that I can't explain. It's almost like a rush. It gets your adrenaline pumping, and for like 2 to 3 hours, it's just it's impactful internally. It is. And so it's kind of like those guys, the adrenaline junkies. They got to do it one more time. They got to do it one more time. That's me. 4 days a week. I got to keep doing it. Got to keep doing it, chasing that adrenaline rush. But what I see is what that adrenaline rush is it's that opportunity to serve.
Wow.
It's that vulnerability where you can just one-on-one with someone, right? And we all get busy in our lives. To be able to find that opportunity to connect with someone and be vulnerable, that's where that comes from, the drive, the motivation.
How, for somebody listening, what can somebody do to experience that rush in so it's great that you have such a passion for doing service. By the way,
Thanks.
I just want to say, I've done charity work in my life, and it like feels good to do something good, but like you have a legitimate passion to affect lives and to evoke change and just to, help out. Not everybody has that. Even when we do charity work, it's like, okay, I'll go feed. I've like worked the homeless line before on a Thanksgiving, and it was great, and it felt good, and I felt like I did something really good. But you're going in every day, day in, day out, doing this, and you're not getting paid to do it. So, what advice do you have for somebody that might be thinking, man, I want to do something for somebody. I'm in a place where I want to do service.
Yeah. Well, first of all, anything that someone can do, even if it is, say you're part of a 100, 200 person event and you feel like you're just, one of the hands in there, and you're not, regardless, I encourage everyone to serve some way, somehow, in anything in their community. That's one. The second part to that is you don't know what that passion is. You don't know what just drives you until you do something. So just try different serve opportunities, whether it's in the community that you're in or the larger community of the town or city that you're in. Just find something and just get involved. Because until you experience something, you're not going to know what it is that drives you. But third, like I said, you don't have to go to the ends of the earth. You don't have to get on a plane and go to Africa. You don't have to do those things to have an impact in this world. You don't have to do those things to find someone who is in need. They're right next door, literally and figuratively. They're right next door. Yeah. And any way that if it's a helping hand, if it's tutoring, if it's reading a book, there's programs out there that you can volunteer and be part of. Serving food at a pantry, wherever, whatever. Yeah. Cooking your own meals and giving it to your neighbor. The way it looks different for everyone. So it's not a cookie cutter thing. But that's what I would recommend. Get involved, find something that you like to do, and it'll come up. It'll naturally come up on what it is that you want to and how you can serve your community, and just do it.
Yeah. And doing service really works wonders. You'd be amazed. Like, also, I just found out, like, there's animal shelters. You could go and you could volunteer to walk animals for like any amounts of time. I think slots from like 15 minutes to an hour. But they'll let you take, an animal out, take a dog to the park, go for a walk. So even stuff like that is
who doesn't like going and taking a dog for a while? Yeah. It's fun.
It's fun. and it's like any way you could, I've learned when I'm doing service that it takes me out of my own head and takes me out of my own crises that life puts in it, whatever stresses I'm having, financial, anything. Sometimes when you go out, not sometimes, for me, it's every time I do something of service, something that's not for myself, it always gives back 10 times fold. So if anything, it's a way to get out of your own pain
for
too.
Sure. Yep, there's a healing element to it. Yeah, there is. I'm glad you bring that up because each person is not we all go through something, or we're going through something. It's not just, some people. Every single person, regardless of, I don't care what you say, everyone's going through something. And money doesn't fix it. Yeah. My point is, everyone goes through something, or they're going through something. And there's a healing element to serving your community or serving in some way, shape, or form. is a healing element. It takes your mind off of what's going on or what's surrounding you at the moment. It really takes you out of that and just puts you there to serve someone and to get your hands dirty and just there's a healing element to that. And I experience that daily. It could be a stressful day at work. Mm-hmm. Allison's project, or that's what it's called, Allison's project. Going to see Miss Joseph and serving that food, it brings joy. It's happy, and it's a fun environment. You got kids that look forward to seeing you. So if you can serve, you'll experience that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Great. What's next for you? What's next? What's the future looking like? What are your plans? Is this Allison's project? Is the name of your project?
It is.
And is Allison your daughter? Or
so Allison is a dear friend of ours who unfortunately passed away prior to us starting. Young, she was just vibrant. She was part of her community, and she was in Tucson, Arizona. I'll just give you the story because it's worth listening to. So my wife and I, we would go to Disneyland. We had passes, so we'd go to Disneyland quite often. This is before kids, before marriage, and that was our thing to do, right? So we wanted to watch the fireworks. So we find this spot right in front of the castle, and we're like, that's where we're going to sit. So we go over there, and we see these two girls with the tiaras, and I'm just rolling my eyes. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. We got we got the girls with tiaras. They're old enough to not have to wear tiaras. So we're sitting there, and my wife just talks to everybody. Like she doesn't understand the stranger. That doesn't compute in her mind. So she turns around. She couldn't help herself. She's like, tell me about your tiaras. And so they just get to talking. And Allison was our friend's name. She was one of the girls sitting there with the tiara on her hand, and they just connected. They connected, and fireworks were over. Next thing we know, I'm holding my wife's hand, she's holding Allison's hand, and she's running us to the next attraction. That was her thing. But the inspiring part of Allison is that she just didn't care. She had her medical issues. She had, all kinds of other things going on in her life, and she didn't care. She wanted to go and have fun and just experience life. And that it was so awesome to have her part of our life. It was a short period of time. It was an amazing part of our life that we got to experience. And so we thought when we were putting this together, Chef Bruno, Sir Bruno, one of his things was that he said, name your program after someone that has an impact on you. And so I started going through my thoughts of my aunt or, my grandma, or I was just trying to come, and then it just hit. I'm like, you know what? Allison, she's the name that we want to have. And we went to her parents. We told them all about what we were doing, and they were honored to put her name on this program. So that's where Allison's project comes from.
How can people get involved, help? I know when you started this, you were self-financing but now there's ways people could donate. Are you a 501c or?
So there's a way to donate. However, I will say this. If you're interested in starting a nonprofit, this is what I want to say to you. If you want to start a nonprofit, go for it. Do it. It's very challenging. There's a lot of paperwork involved, and you have to understand a lot. So I've made a lot of mistakes. In these years, and every single mistake is worth it because I've learned something new. So that would be my 2 cents when it comes to starting a nonprofit. If it's there, but you do your research, you got to get your information lined up. You got to know exactly what you're doing. And so yeah. So there's challenges involved with it, but it's worth it. In terms of donating to us, we're okay right now. Like, I don't want to push that. If you want to go and donate something, you can go to our website. It's allisonsproject.org. Yeah, I don't. What I want is for your viewers and listeners is to if they've thought about opening up a 501c3 or doing something in their community, that's what I want this episode to be about inspiring them to go and do that, and just encourage you to do that. I highly encourage you to do that because it's life changing.
Wow, man, Greg, thanks for coming on. This has been really awesome, and what you're doing is important. It's vital. Basically, what I get out of this is that, you know, we could go and we could do things right here. Everything doesn't have to be so far away. Like you said, there's people that are hungry. There's people that need a smile. There's people that just need a hello, you know, have a good day right here. Outside our back doors, and we're able to do that. That's something we could all contribute.
That's right.
So thank you for what you do. Before you get out of the hot seat, though, you have to do what everybody who comes on our podcast does.
Okay.
Look in that camera, and I want you to give a message to anybody listening, kind of what you were just saying. You know, what's the message you'd like to put out to them if they're thinking, hey, I want to start an organization. I want to do something in my community. What advice and encouragement do you have for them?
Yeah, what I would say is this: if you're hurting, if you've got a hang up, if you're going through some sort of trial, tribulation, just something that's just not good, look to serve. Look for a place to get involved and just give some time out of your day to that service project, whatever it is. Because there's a healing element to that. Second, you're probably going to get something way bigger, way more important, way more life-changing, and it could be something that you need to help yourself with. You might get that from serving. So I encourage you to do that. And if say you're in that position where you want to start a nonprofit, you want to create something that has change in your community, do it. Don't wait. Just do it. You'll learn, like I did. You'll learn how to get through this. But you got to get through it, right? To get past it, you got to get through it. You just got to do it. And so that would be my advice to you: is just stop thinking about it and just act. You're not gonna serve anyone if you're just still thinking about it. And third, you don't have to do some, $1 million project or anything like that. It could be as simple as a handshake, a smile, reading a book, serving a meal, donating clothes. I mean, it's limitless on what you can do to serve your community. Just do it. It doesn't have to be some major thing. It can be very simple, and just do it.
Love that, man. Well, God bless you, brother, and you're out there doing the good work, and we recognize you, and we appreciate you coming on and sharing your story, and any way we could be part of the community you built or, help out in any way, please let us know.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I took a lot of gems from this one. Sitting down with Greg, he said some things that just put laser focus on. You don't have to go to the ends of the world to do good deeds. You could do them in your backyard. I try to remind myself that daily. You're walking around the block, taking a walk, Pick up the dog poop that somebody wasn't nice enough to pick up after themselves. Me and my friend always joke about that when we want good karma or whatever. We're like, hey, I picked up the neighbor's dog poop. Hopefully I land this audition I just submitted for. But all jokes aside, there's so many things we could do. You know, there's trash right there on the street. Pick it up, throw it in the trash can. That's a good deed. You know, it's not just a good deed. You're taking care of your community. How do we make our communities better if we're not contributing? So it doesn't always have to be, you know, making $1 million to spread around through the community. It could just be pick up that McDonald's, you know, wrapper that somebody didn't throw away. And you know what? Not get resentful. Just make it happen. Just go out and do it. And that's how we can make our block safer, our community safer, and our world safer and cleaner. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day. Greg's out there living his dream. I'm living mine. Go live yours. See you on the next one.
You should never stress about the problems you be facing. Everybody in the mud on the struggle trying to make it. Look into the mirror and you see the motivation. Then you step into the world and you find your inspiration. I'm finding inspiration, and once I get a hold of it, I'll never get complacent. Look into the mirror and you see the motivation. Then you step into the world and you find your inspiration.